middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
They'll never find your grave.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Blessings.
Dire's top tower has fallen. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Carry me home.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
$1,000 net worth right now at 10 minutes in. What a turnaround that they've been able to have. As this series was looking dire straits for them after the first two games, but now coming into this game number 4, everything's going their way.
And well, in the past, what has turned these games around for Team Spirit? It's been Collapse, you know, showing up, making the plays, but he's got some time. Wants to get that Blink Dagger down on the axe first. In the meantime, there are a lot of heroes coming to his mid tower.
Oh my god, they're bringing numbers. Everybody's here. Kaposhka, level 5 on that Wyvern. Going to try and throw out these Splinter Blasts and slow things down as much as possible, but that tier 1 tower is already dead.
Yeah, they're just holding the Tombstone. Again, such a great job of just like not expending anything, right? They're just threatening. They're just holding all this strength.
And Collapse, they caught him again. The Nightmare's there. Do they have enough for the kill, though?
Oh, yeah.
They are going to chase him down. Wait for it. Fiend's Grip afterwards. Easy as pie. They take him down. This is a stomping we got right here. Toro is going to need to play his heart out right now.
He is so far behind on it.
It's insane.
He's almost getting doubled up on right now.
Like, the Undying is almost caught up to him in terms of net worth with that Tombstone dropping in the Ancient Steel. Such an impressive performance for them in Team Spirit. They just really don't have an answer right now.
It felt like they got lost halfway through the draft and they still haven't found their way.
Well, and you think about that draft, right? They burned through so much of that reserve time early on. And in the end, we're left trying to find a perfect hero, and so far the TA hasn't been able to do it for him.
Part of that is just that it's such a one-dimensional plan that not only can you like prepare during the draft as what to do, but in the actual game, like they were so quick to come in and ward up these Ancients. Sure, they missed out on some of the plays in the top of some of those neutrals, but the contest in there, the space made for Faith Beyond to get absolutely massive. No one is even contesting Ame at all, just freeform throughout the jungle. And this has to be like the biggest Axe Blink reveal and Deso reveal at a TA of all time.
Yes. They've got to get a ton here on Team Spirit. And of course, that also means that LGD need to be the ones that run into them to allow for that fight to happen. Not an easy ask, but again, you've got some big combos here, right? You've got that Winner's Curse into a big call afterwards, Lion Stun. The combo is there if they can find it.
The fights are so hard though.
Looking for it right at the start. The boat's going to come out. And now the slowdown. Mira in some trouble. Collapse back behind the tower. Also getting ran down by nothing to say. He needs to TP out of here.
He bought his blink.
Yeah,
no one else dies.
As long as they're able to get away, that should be good enough for them. So they get the kill. Faithion finds it, but also on the other side, Y kills off Mira. 8-1 to start this game.
Yeah, throws down a ward to secure the kill. Mira, of course, instantly noticing that, but I think Y's going to call it worth, just going to make the tower easy to take. Maposhka was thinking about leaving himself in behind there and maybe finding a Winner's Curse if they want to actually contest to the tower, but I think the call's been made from the rest of Team Spirit that they're just not ready for that yet.
Yeah, they need those items. Need to hit that timing.
Whew. 7 kill lead, 7,000 gold lead, and Ame's still hitting greaves.
I mean, he's just doing what he needs to in this one. Taking a look already at that win probability, they're heavily into the favor of LGD.
Put that away. Oh, come on. We got a game going here.
My goodness gracious. The Nightmare is down. Poshka gonna trade it over onto him. They have this blink. Want to reveal, but the only people down here are supports, and that's not big enough. Ward also covering it all. But maybe now Team Spirit can at least try and pressure and get this tower and get some momentum going for themselves, because if they don't get something going soon, this game is going to go completely off the rails.
I mean, you can already see them struggling here, though, right? Like, they're bringing everyone down here. They're looking for that fight.
Yeah.
Everything that they need. It has to be perfectly layered. The call, the curse, trying to find the sight lines for the Templar Assassin.
Oh, and Toro caught. Fiend's Grip is there, and no help nearby at all. They're going to kill off that Spectre.
I love ZQ doing that, just dropping the Tombstone. It's just such an important kill for them that they're willing to throw at everything that they have right there.
And immediately afterwards, they're thinking about going to Roche. I mean, why not at this point?
They could Roche, they could start pressuring that tier 2 top, but the tier 2 top is a lot riskier, right? You're going to have this attempted call from the Axe. Also, they actually don't have great vision right now onto that high ground, so theoretically, if there was something there from Team Spirit, maybe they'd have a chance, but perhaps they just have the really good read that they are all in the bottom lane right now, waiting for them to come to that bottom tower. And it's taken so fast.
So Roche gonna be claimed, and again, Team Spirit needing to find an answer as LGD want to try and close this one out, put themselves in a dominant position. And already Y is gonna head up here, try and get down a deep ward. We'll see if that one bears any fruit, as LGD will retreat back, get their next set of items, and then be ready to go.
Very reminiscent of Game 2. Now, mind you, it happened a lot later in the game, but essentially we got to the point where Team Spirit were the ones just running around with this Luna and looking like, you know, what are you going to do as LGD? You have to wait for this perfect moment to find your fight. Team Spirit now find themselves in that situation. And one thing that they obviously recognized when they played that Luna strat was just stay together. Don't let the pickoffs happen. Can they find a pickoff right here? No. Look how safe Nothing to Say is playing there with the X.
Xingqiu might be the one that gets found. The jump forward call, it's off the mark. And instead, he just heads off to the side. There's the root. Collapse has to back out of here. I mean, there's more people coming nearby. Tokyo gets skewered back. He's caught alone. Can they kill him off? RP, but the Winter's Curse is trying to turn this. Boat afterwards finishes off that TA, but it's not enough. It's not nearly enough. And if they're not careful, they might lose more. The chase forward Hex, Mira, X marks the spot as they'll pull the Lion back and find another kill. LGD, no mercy.
Dire's top tower.
It's looking rough. It is looking rough for Team Spirit.
Is that a Spirit Breaker in that drift?
Yeah, I don't know.
This is? Because something happened.
They turned up on PSG LGD. They were not going to go out like that.
Well, it's looking like a completely different series at this point. I mean, Team Spirit, you know, the fun loving, we're just having a good time. Good times might have come to an end right now, at least in this game, and you know, it gets to the point where as the game continues, you just wonder, like, how much is this impacting the looking like potential Game 5?
Potentially. I mean, again, you never count this out. We've seen teams come back from more than this against LGD to win a TI. But can they do it again here? Spectre, so often that late game answer, and they just need to find a good fight on Team Spirit to pull this one back. The question is, will LGD give it to them? Underneath the ward, this could be the way it starts.
They've played so ridiculously clean this game, though. Just not offering up anything over to Team Spirit. Now, they do have some good vision down in that bottom jungle. If there was ever a chance to go for something, it's probably towards that part of the map right now. But Faith Beyond not acting like it, you know? Sitting directly on a trap, and they still can't go.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to really fight into this. Oh, Toronto Tokyo, skewer! Oh, and pulls him back in! They'll find the TA, wants to get out of here, blink away. Oh, and just like that, Toronto Tokyo able to get a little bit of separation, but they still have that night vision and Faith Beyond. With the chase down, they got him there to the side. Nobody coming to help the TA. Toronto Tokyo falls again. 12 kills, 12K gold lead. LGD, keep up that momentum.
Team Spirit are waiting for the Aghanims on the Spectre. That is going to be their go play. They might have Blade Mail there too.
He just gets caught again.
Until then, it's just throwing out heroes, you know? Take me. Try and slow down this tower push.
How close are we now to that Aghanim Scepter? It's what, 50 gold away for this Spectre? again.
I mean, it's been a fantastic item, but as you heard Seb and No-Tail say, the damage is lacking.
Oh, man.
And they needed that early lead to actually provide some damage. They needed the items on Team Spirit. They don't have the items.
Right. Well, and it's such a good answer here, right? With that Undying being able to sit right up front there with the Tombstone, and then Luna can hit the tower, because the way that Team Spirit win the fight is like when chaos happens and you get a giant curse or something, and they're just not being presented that opportunity.
Although, if there's one hero that's very good at breaking formations, it is Spectre, right? The Haunt comes out, there's question marks everywhere, you're not sure where the real one is, and then it's providing vision to the rest of Team Spirit, and then you find the jump. And Axe, a hero that, with the Blade Mail, can turn some of your advantage into a disadvantage.
Looking for something here. It's just a shadow step to start. Oh, afterwards, they have Haunt starting to bring Ame down a little bit low. Aegis, 30 seconds left, and now they're leaving him alone for the moment. Turning on to the other supports. Collapse going to TP out, but it's not going to happen. Collapse will go down, and that fight doesn't work. Toronto Tokyo pulled back in, refraction gone, and now the chase down happens yet again. Mira hoping to salvage this, but it's not going to happen. One by one, all of Spirit go by the wayside.
And that was going into a fight with 30 seconds left on the Aegis too.
Oh,
so just like, even if you get some of those kills, the reset potential there from LGD. But Team Spirit, you know, they felt the situation that they had to find some sort of fight to be outside their base. It's not a good one though.
And they used the winner's curse in that last fight. Yeah, that is really painful. Maybe if there's an opportunity right here, but jump in! The Tumbler's toy, are you kidding me? Faithbeyond able to make the play happen. And now focusing down the barracks at 20 minutes, 17-1.
I mean, Collapse is smoked up here, but I don't even know if there's a play. Obviously, you have to wait till the Templar Assassin's back.
They're hoping for something, anything at this point.
They just got mana for Shadow Step.
There's a chance, there's a hope, but will it actually come to fruition? I am not sure. Team Spirit just do not have an answer at all.
They pop drums, jump them, Collapse.
Oh my goodness. They just have to give it up. There's no other answer. There's still a tier 1 down bottom at the very least, but I mean, at this point, LGD could turn on the tier 4s maybe.
I love how this team plays Undying. The 5, the 4, like, not a lot of teams really bring this hero out, but you know, you get this movement speed, so you can get the ulti off the Flesh Golem, you're just getting the debuff down, having the drums to like benefit this early sieging ability that they have, as well as the Solar Crest too. So, you know, so many teams looking for these saving heroes and empowering heroes on like the one big carry, and Undying just looking like a perfect answer when you also have the Spectre in the game.
And I just think, again, like, what a redemption arc this has been for Ame to be able to pull this back on that Spectre in Game 3 and now in Game 4 on the Luna, playing incredibly clean Dota. Constantly 4-0-7.
Yep. Does not want to repeat history here.
Oh god, did I caster curse him? Oh no. Oh no. Surely it won't happen.
21k lead at 21 minutes. I don't think you have that much power.
I don't think anybody does. We'll see though.
Hold on, let me check Kyle's Twitter.
Yeah.
Just make sure.
Mira gets the Hex off, but they caught Collapse. Mira's gonna try and TP out of here. Does manage to escape, but the axe is down. Toronto Tokyo, oh, cancels TP? Okay.
I mean, where are you gonna go?
I mean, I guess that, yeah.
There's, you know, they got some towers go through. You're not gonna do anything. You might as well try and catch the next wave.
That's true. Fair
Because
enough.
now where do you go is a bit of a question. I'll give you that.
Just be dead if you're not careful. Toronto Tokyo, got to be careful there.
Stand perfect. Oh, I know this one from my pups. Yeah. Got to keep the GPM up, you know.
Mean lane, they got him. Toro forced to jump away from this one, but nothing to say. Still got him in the sights. Able to throw out that Earth Spike, but they're hunting for more.
Beyond's coming.
Oh, good blink away by Mira, and Toro able to get the TPL, but Mira, the one that's going to pay for the sins, will end up falling there to Xingqiu, and now they're heading up again.
Beyond has had this troll for so long. I feel like he wants to end the game with it, you know, like reward it for its servitude.
Well, this might just be the time. I mean, Ame is up there.
Out. Send them in.
Roche is capable of respawning, but they're looking to just try and end this right now. No magnets to pull him back into the fountain. There's the jump to start it.
All right, this has to be the jump, right?
Maposhka behind. He's got Winner's Curse, waiting for an opportunity, but can they get an opening?
There's no TA for 10 seconds. That might be an issue.
It's dangerous. Yeah, they don't quite have enough. And TA, without a quick way to get in there, they'll have to let it go for the moment. But Maposhka, they've still got a ward here. And now they don't.
Collapse has been smoked for so long.
They just can't find an opening. LGD, just this impenetrable wall that doesn't break formation.
Yeah, they just keep popping them, but they can't find their fight. They might even be running low at this point.
19-1. So now, with Roche respawned, LGD dotting their I's and crossing their T's and looking to close this one out with the shard in tow.
This is an emphatic victory at this point. You know, this is not the way you want to go into a Game 5 from Team Spirit. It's one thing to just like have a loss and sort of be like, okay, well, you know, we couldn't close it out in 3, but that's cool. We can do it in 4, whatever. You remember those 2 games, guys?
Right. They seem a long time ago.
They seem like a very long time ago at this point.
Faith Beyond pulls back there. Yule Scepter afterwards, but nobody's close enough to turn that into a fight. Another Shadow Step used just to slow down Faith Beyond from going in for another round of this.
Toronto Tokyo's just drawing on the map down there. Throwing every trap possible to hold on that one tier 2, right? Force them to go for the throne.
And they're gonna do it. Walks right on in.
Happy to oblige.
Ame, he's ready. He wants to not relive the ghosts of the past. He wants to close this Game 4 out here in style. And so far, it turns now onto the Ancient Haunout afterwards. Where's the fight? I'm not seeing it. Going deathless so far. They turn now onto Y. Just grip to the side. Oh, and a catch on the collapse. Y's not dying. Nobody's dying. They all fall again as GG is called 23-3. A statement from LGD.
Did he get a blink call?
It didn't happen. It was just too good.
The whole game, that was crazy. They never came online. Quite frankly, like this lineup was not allowed to operate in any facet whatsoever for Team Spirit. And it may be even in game score. It's 2-2, but it's not feeling like there's much of a chance right now.
I mean,
you got to regroup.
You know, No-Tail and Seb, they were talking about body language coming into that. How about this body language right here?
That's confidence right there.
Ame's doing the Arthur hand. He's ready. He's ready to go.
Little skip in the step there, yeah.
They're ready for
they're feeling a lot better.
A TI repeat
but
potentially.
Hey, there you go.
All right.
They're okay, though.
We'll see if they can pull it back again. But what an unbelievable experience, again, for LGD to be able to pull this back from that 2-0 start. Just incredibly impressive stuff.
All right, it's okay, though. You just say, like, it was draft, guys. I think we can all agree the draft looked rough. Thus, the game looked rough. So you go forward, you shift things up, and Team Spirit will hopefully give us more of a challenge for LGD in Game 5.
Optimistic as always. We'll see if it ends up playing out. But for now, let's head back to the panel.
The series is tied 2-2. We will go into a Game 5 here in these grand finals at the International 10. I'm joined by BSJ, Effie, and Jenkins. And we're going to break down that Game 4. Jenkins, I want to start with... well, let's start with Team Spirit doubling their skill score there in the final second.
I don't know if there's any breaking down these games. Like, I legit don't. This shit is scripted. It's scripted. Like... How does every TI end like this?
No, it
At
doesn't,
some
though.
point, it's got to stop. I don't understand. It's like the amount of people that came up to me today, and it's like, okay, so Secret was supposed to win. Everybody thought Secret was going to win, right? And then we get into the grand finals, and it's like, oh, LGD is going to shellac them. And then after game 1, it's like, oh my God, dude, LGD's lost it. They're done. And then that happens. Literally, whatever you think will happen won't happen. So what do we do? How can I break that down?
It's your job.
I'm sorry. I just can't believe it. Year after year, TI, it just delivers.
It is just delivering, Effie. It's a great series so far.
Well, there's so much to say, but I just want to comment on the mental fortitude that PSG LGD just showed, because a lot of us in the green room, we were sitting and watching the game, right? And after those 2 stomps, quite frankly, by Spirit, we were just thinking, did they do it? Did they mentally break down PSG LGD? But no, they walked off, they regrouped. Everyone thought they were so stubborn with that Magnus, but they beat them.
Nobody expected that. Everybody was like, oh my God, they let Magnus through again. They're so stubborn. What are they doing? Literally everybody was wrong. I can tell you, I was sitting in that stadium. Every single person was saying, what is wrong with them? I was reading Twitter. What is wrong with them? They let the Magnus through.
But that's why they're on Twitter. That's why they're in the stadium, and that's why they're not playing. Brian.
Okay, so we talk about the fact that they lost the draft in Game 4, but we have to think about the mind games coming through this entire 4-game series so far, and they got Mag, lost with it, to a Spectre, and then they're like, oh, we'll give LGD Mag this time, we'll pick Spectre, but it was the Undying with the Spectre that was really causing the issues. And it's just not, they lost to the way that they lost, which has to be some sort of mental defeat. I hope whatever I said made more sense than what Jenkins has been talking about.
Nothing makes sense. We're pretending. This is a facade. Nobody knows what's going on right now. Probably not even LGD or Spirit.
I think they have a little bit of an idea what's going on, right? So they let the Magnus through twice. They lost to it. I think they just didn't expect Spirit to be so strong. Like, they were coming off of their win against Secret, and they were feeling themselves, quite frankly.
Yeah.
They were playing so well. They kept up the tempo. They cast all their spells correctly. They played with confidence. But that Mag loss, that first one, broke them. And then to take it the next game and beat them with it convincingly, I'm worried about Spirit's mental state right now, actually, because this is where the difference in experience comes in between these two teams. Spirit are very young, and they probably didn't expect to make it this far. While LGD, they've been training for this for 2 years. So.
Yeah, I mean, they have so far there's been two TIs before this. This is the third TI that there's a game 5 in a grand finals, and PSG LGD has already experienced this. They were already in a game 5, Brian, with Ame actually as well.
It's a little bit different this time because in the previous one, they were up 2-1 going into game 4. They were up by 15K, I believe, in game 4, and OG made this crazy comeback. And instead, they've got all the momentum going in. I feel like they feel strategically superior. They're like, those first 2 games, like whatever happened, shake it off. They had only lost 2 games throughout the entirety of a TI prior to that series. So I think LGD is in a way better spot going into game 5.
Dude, they looked broken. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. I saw the cameras on them, and I was thinking, oh, God, they're done. They looked so broken. They looked sad. Their eyes were watery. And then that happens. I think the Tinker game was like a huge turning point. I think that draft was just a lot easier to execute. It gave them the taste for blood again. And then in the next game, it's just like they're just back to like prime LGD. It's what they said in an interview. Like, they learned from the losses, and they're grateful to the enemy teams for giving them the opportunity to learn. And that's what I felt after the Tinker game.
Yeah, we heard from Zao8 right after the draft, and he was saying that some of the things that he told the team in between games before game 4 was don't be afraid. If we lose together, we lose together, and otherwise we always have next year, Effie.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how you want your coach to be, but I think that right now, LGD are just in a position to take it all. And as amazing as Spirit's run has been, they've got the momentum now on LGD. And just hopefully, regardless of the outcome, both teams should be proud of themselves for what they've done today.
Yeah, we've highlighted Team Spirit a lot because obviously they were on match point for 2 games now. We are going to highlight PSG LGD a little bit more because now they are also on match point, and one of these 2 teams will take home $18 million and the World Championship and the Aegis. A lot on the line for this one game of Dota 2. So far, we only have 5 players in the world that have a 2-time TI championship to their names. If PSG LGD were to win this game 5, we'll have 7 in total because Faith Beyond and Y were on the winning roster of Wings in TI6. And they will also have a 100% win rate at TI because they have only played that TI6, Brian. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, they're doing the OG, but instead of taking like 6 months off, they take 4 years off and just come back and win another TI. But we talk about the money. I'm a little bit of a math nerd myself. We're looking at $13 million between the 2 teams, between first and second.
Yes.
If it's like an average 40-minute game, that's about $300K a minute that they're playing the game of Dota. If you average 10 CS a minute, that seems pretty reasonable. That means every time you hit a creep, that's $30,000 if you win this game.
That's such a carry. That is such a carry way of breaking it down. Okay,
Just imagine that.
From the offline perspective,
30K.
for every death, it's $300,000 for every death you feed. There's the offlane perspective.
It's more like $1 million. You're not going to
sorry.
actually, for you'd probably die that many times. Never mind.
He's right.
No, there is a lot of pressure indeed with the money on the line, with the prestige on the line as well, and on the flip side of perhaps having a 2-time champ, Nothing to Say has not been at a single TI yet. This is his first one, and he has a potential to become the next Royal Road, or the last Royal Road we had was Thompson at TI-8. Before that, it was GH at TI-7. And before that, it was the full Wings lineup. But it is pretty crazy because all those names we hear time and time again, we talk about Thompson, GH. They're some of the best players in their roles, still are. And it just gives me a lot of giddiness for the season and the seasons to come, Effie.
And just speaking of nothing to say, he rose to prominence and kind of made himself known through Tinker. He was just a pub star who spammed Tinker, much to everyone's annoyance. And the hero that kept them in the TI Grand Finals was Tinker.
Turning point. Yep.
It's just everything goes back full circle. Every TI has some kind of magical story. And it's just incredible that we can see this level of Dota come out consistently from new players every year, it feels like.
It's very reminiscent of Thompson, like Pugna.
I got a
breaking
thought.
it out in the last series.
All right.
Oh, no.
I believe that if you can turn around a best of 5 like this, if you do this when every CS is worth 30,000 goddamn dollars, then you should receive an honorary PhD in psychology from like Harvard or wherever.
I don't know if it works that way, but I
should.
will tell you that in TI Grand Finals history, it's never happened that someone did a reverse sweep. This year alone, we did see the reverse sweep with EG versus IG in the Grand Finals of the Singapore Major. Of course, it all started with that question mark.
They should get master's degrees. This is PhD.
I mean, it is being able to recover from that level of pressure and stress that is on that final game. But I also think that it is, with a Game 5, Effie, it's very simple for Team Spirit to also probably reset because they have also been in this situation before.
I think every team is able to reset in a way, but we don't actually know what goes on behind the scenes in their, in their little powwow, I guess, after the game goes on. But what we know right now is PSG LGD beat them when they were playing their hero and then took their hero and beat them with it. And now they've got the 2-game win momentum. And they also have first choice, right, for the next game. So it's looking a lot harder for Spirit than it is for PSG LGD this game.
It is. It is looking pretty rough for Team Spirit as well, but they also know they've got a full region behind them. They are the first Eastern European team to be standing on these grand finals since 2013. It's been a long time coming. That being said, PSG LGD, of course, also having a lot of pressure because it has been quite a while since a Chinese team lifted that Aegis, and they know what it would mean to not just their organization and their team, but to the entire country if they were to indeed lift that Aegis. We'll see who gets to do it, though. We'll see who will take home that Aegis. It is going to be either Team Spirit or PSG LGD. It is one game of Dota 2. And I think it's going to be very important for both these teams to strip away these grand finals, to just relax. We see a lot of players, by the way, always take off their shoes. You know, they gotta recreate how they feel when they play at home. In the past, we have had Ice taking off his pants because he preferred to play in his boxers, and that's allowed because you just gotta make yourself comfortable. It is very important. Also, interesting fun fact for you all at home. I know you see sometimes players play with these heat packs. They've got these little heat packs to make their fingers warm. It is not actually cold in these booths. It's not cold. The reason they use these heat packs is because adrenaline makes your blood vessels tighter because, you know, you got to pump that blood real fast. But your extremities, your fingers, you need those to play the game. It's a sport for your hands, so you got to have those heat packs to make your blood vessels wide again. Did you know that, Jenkins?
No, I have very bad knowledge of anything medical. Which is why I was saying they should receive PhDs in medicine.
Those aren't even medical. PhDs are not medical.
Well, whatever. I think they should get a PhD in whatever the hell they want if they're going to reverse sweep a TI. But also, I feel like Team Spirit had all the odds stacked against them just a few games ago. And they're in the same position. So what the hell do we know?
They've been in several Game 3s, and we've watched them improve throughout the entire season. You've had the one team that's just consistently at the top, and the other one that's been rising from 4th place in Season 1 of DPC, where they didn't even qualify for the major. And it's all
qualifier team, bro.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you brought that up, BSJ, because even if you look at their DPC performance, they've just been slowly getting better. They've just been this team lurking in the shadows. Throughout the Animator, they impressed. They beat Liquid in their tiebreakers, right? They did so well in groups, better than anyone else expected. And in the DPC Season 2, they almost beat VP. It was such a close game. And when we come here, everyone's whispering about how Spirit have been so strong in scrims, but people kind of just let this team grow into something big without us even knowing. It's just been awesome to watch.
An actual dark horse, not just a team where you don't want to feel bad by being like they're going to get eliminated. They're an actual dark horse
We
team.
can call them a dark dragon because they do have the dragon logo that is like black and white, so they're actually like dark dragon, right?
They've earned it at this point.
They
can be a
really
dragon.
did. Also, want to remind people of the words that Collapse had said right before their tournament. He was prompted with the question upper bracket, lower bracket, and he, without hesitation, said lower bracket. So he likes to be with the back against the wall, Brian. It makes him perform better.
Just give him a new hero. You know, give a new hero to Yatoro. I give Collapse, the Mag, the Tide. I don't care what's happened up until this point. Pull out your TI-8 OG. Pick exactly what your players want to play. I don't think strategy is going to matter nearly as much as we maybe give it credit for when this much is on the line.
Agreed. Pick your best heroes, and that's how they beat Secret today. They just pulled up. The draft was looking grim until they pulled up that last pick Storm for Toronto, Tokyo, and they absolutely destroyed with it. So just go for comfort, play like you're at home, and see what happens.
So you want Silent and Zhao to just go in those booths and say, guys, Game 5 of this TI-10 Grand Finals, everything's on the line. What do you want to play? Is it that simple?
Maybe
It
not.
could be that simple. We are going to find out what is going to happen in this fifth and deciding and final game of TI-10. Let's go.
Team Spirit versus PSG LGD. Grand Finals, Game 5.
Hello everyone, welcome to the final draft panel of TI-10 because this is Game 5. One game to decide the entire tournament between these two teams.
This is literally the best game Dota has to offer.
It is. This is the best moment of the tournament. What do you guys hope to see from both teams coming in?
You want to go? I mean, first and foremost, the best game of Dota possible, I think. That is what I want to see. I want to see both teams getting their comfort zone. I want to see both teams getting solid drafts and being able to fight full force and, you know, show the world and show themselves and us, like everybody, what they have to offer. That's what I want to see.
I mean, this is one of life's true magical miracle moments. This is people working their lives, years and hours and so
They did ban
much.
Tiny, sorry. They did not ban Tiny.
Yeah, oh wow. They actually decide, okay, but Mag is also in. So this is something that we know that LGD, they chose first pick.
Yeah.
And most likely they were trying to force this Mag for nothing trade, or they believe that these guys were not going to counter the Mag correctly. But now Team Spirit is changing it up one more time, which is really going to be awesome. But yeah, back to what I was going to say, because this is back against the wall for both teams. This is like the most pressure these people have probably ever been under in their whole lives, or for Ahmed, like he's been so close twice now. I hope to see both teams just fully let go of everything that holds them back, become a team, become the best humans you can, become like the best teammates that you can become, and play the best you can. This is your day. This is your moment. This is for you to show the world what you can do in Dota.
And it's amazing to witness. And I think we're going to get it because this opener from both teams, it shows us a lot of confidence. So I feel like the teams, they found their momentum again, they found their form, and they found their confidence. And that's what matters at this point. And there's a lot to say actually about what's going on. So LGD had the choice. And they ended up, so second pick has won, like game 1, 2, and 3, they were about second pick. LGD was forced back against the wall into a first pick scenario in the game 4 that we just witnessed. They took the Mag, and they showed how they can make it work, and they can also counter it, which was game 3. Team Spirit in game 4, they showed that, in my opinion, they showed LGD they did not have the best understanding, and they're going for it, yeah, here. And I want to say how, like in this game, LGD, they get their best strategy. Tiny is their best strategy. As we said before, they brought this Tiny to the meta. They were the team making it happen. They were the team abusing the Tiny with the Lycan. They know this better than anybody else. They have played the Tiny Lycan versus Secret the other day and against the Secret Mag, and they made it work. Today, Team Spirit, they played versus the Secret Tiny with the Mag, and they won.
Yeah.
But You know, is LGD better at executing it than Secret? Maybe they are. You know, you can only assume. This game will tell.
Yes, we learned firsthand about the LGD like in Tiny very early on before we got to TI, and this strategy, when you see it for the first time, you're like, oh boy, this reminds you of some of the other broken strats that you see come up around TI. And I mean, it's nice. It's amazing that we get this in the game 5, and that somebody is manning up to LGD, saying, we're giving you your best strat, and we're gonna beat you. And
this is the team that theory crafted it. You know, they are the inventors of Tiny and Tiny Lycan. It's scary to go up against it, and I like the team spirit confidence. They're getting the Collapse Magnus. One thing that has to be said is Rubik is getting banned. Like, this is gonna be Collapse Magnus at its prime. Or it should be, right? Because so far, LGD, they have countered it with the Rubik. They understand how to break this cure action. Are they gonna get the tools that they need in order to break this cure? We're yet to see. I think that's one of the kind of storyline of this draft. Miposhka Bane has been incredibly good. We saw also Bane dominate the game 4 for LGD. Bane versus Tiny, extremely interesting matchup. Why is that? Because Enfeeble actually reduces attack damage for 60%. It's really big. Tiny plays on this base damage. Actually, a Tiny that goes on somebody while being enfeebled does ridiculously low damage, actually. It does counter him. It's a hero that's very undervalued, in my opinion, against Tiny. Of course, Bane into Lycan, it can be a little bit scary, but yet again, this is all about, this Tiny strategy, is all about getting this Tiny to kind of a critical mass that nothing can deal with.
I do think that you'll eventually get some plays, or if we're going to see it, and we're going to see it executed really well, you're also going to see the Lycan vision being used, and Lycan versus Bane, Lycan versus Mag, it's a lot about the vision. Ideally, LGD, they get to start the fight, either through the Tiny Shadow Blade or Bling, or something else, you know. Tinker fits well in these kind of drafts, because you have the Lycan to enable you, and if you have a good lane, you can also have a stable game, and now your scaling is unreal. This is something that I think Team Spirit should keep in mind. They should keep in mind these Tinkers, they should keep in mind their best heroes, and also, for them, what are we going to do against this Tiny now? Are we trying to push him out of his comfort zone, play on early timings before he gets bitten and 20-minute shard and all those things? Or are we actually going to try to pick this Nakes, Ursa? I saw Ursa ban. Are they going to pick a hero like Faceless Void with the mag to try and take these fights later on against this monster?
Which style do you think is a better counter to the Tiny Lycan? Because this combos ran rampant during TI.
I'm in the Tiny boat. I am very much in the Tiny boat.
It's too much.
No, this is an Angel Arena hero. No. This is not a Dota hero.
You have to beat it before it hits its timings. Nothing beats it. Like, at least that's our read, is like, you will not scale into this. It's not going to happen. Especially against LGD, they understand the timings. They're going to push it at the perfect time. They will not lose. They're not going to waste a single second in this game. As soon as they have the upper hand, they will push it, they will end the game. You have to beat it before, and you can. This Tiny doesn't. Like, he mechanically cannot play quicker than the 20 minutes. It's just a Dota mechanic. He cannot buy the shard before minute 20.
I would argue there's a Shadow Blade timing that changes a little bit, because he actually can defend this tower, surprise you, get solo kills. But other than that, like, you still want to abuse him, because with this Naked Shadow Blade or with something else like that, like one slow, one spell, you're at risk of dying and getting dragged into a bad fight. Okay.
They're just going for it. They're picking all 3 of the cores in a row.
I'm not so sure it's a core. I mean, it might be. It might very well be.
You think it's a support Kunkka, maybe?
I'm not sure. I think it's very scary to pick the Kunkka like that. They maybe have a read where...
I think it's a stabilizing thing for them. I think they're actually so confident that this hero is not losing mid and is going to stabilize the mid game and the early game through his boat fights. That would be my read on it.
I mean, I see it. It is, indeed, probably the best hero to stabilize the game for the Tiny Lycan, because the holes of Tiny Lycan is, it's the first pick Tiny, it's the first phase Lycan. Like, these heroes are gonna be, they should be punished on lanes. They should be punished in the game. You're just announcing, hey, this is a Tiny Lycan game. You know, so of course, the Team Spirit is gonna try to abuse that. So these heroes are gonna have to, somebody's gonna have to make space for them. You know, you wanna consider that they're not gonna have the perfect Tiny Lycan game, or the opposing team kinda messed up the draft. So Kunkka is here to help them stabilize. You know, Kunkka's a great laner. The boat is good in every game in the early fights and whatnot. So this could explain why they feel like we need to get our hands on this Kunkka, especially because the hero that they might pick later is going to get counterpicked anyway.
Didn't they only pick Yatoro's hero in the last 2 games that they lost early? Now they're again going back to picking his very late.
Yeah, and it makes sense with what a hero pool he's displayed on the main stage.
I'm just wondering what he's going to be playing now with all these bans that are coming out for him. Like, the heroes that I think, if they ban the Faceless Void now, I wonder what he's going to look at with this mag versus this Tiny.
So with these 8 heroes picked, which side do you favor going to these final picks?
I'm on the Tiny boat.
Yeah.
Just a Tiny boat?
Tiny Lycan boat.
if you want to break this Tiny, you have to abuse the fact that he comes online late. I mean, everything is relative, but he comes online post minute 20. Same for the Lycan. He should have a bad lane. He's buying Ags, so all the gold that he builds towards these Ags is useless. Lycan with 3k gold or just with the blade and the staff of with it, like it does nothing. When the Axe comes and the shard comes, this is when the power spike is crazy. But before that, these are two heroes that are actually really bad at fighting. They're really bad at at stunning, at catching. They don't do much. So, and I think you have to use that opening. But so far, I think the Spirit heroes, I don't know if they truly do that.
And if you think about it from that perspective, I feel like Kunkable and Skywrath, you're trying to run at them, hit that strong timing, but they have the potential to burst anyone. And you have some Bane save, some Winter Wyvern save, but it might not be enough for Skywrath.
And I also think the Skywrath was a preemptive pick for Toronto to Tokyo. If he wasn't going to play Invoker, which was not banned, then the Skywrath Silence is always good against the Spirits. And I think they picked this knowing what's coming, knowing what this Dota game is already kind of shaping out to be. So I think it was also a good pick to, now you see this Ember, you see this Vyron, and you actually see the Skywrath value that's going to happen in these early fights. Could happen.
To me, I feel like there's a hole though in LGD's draft in the sense that you pick Lycan into Mag Wyvern and you pick Tiny into Mag Wyvern, and Mag Wyvern, they have really good plays against that. And when they played against Secrets, they did play the same lineup. They played Tiny Lycan into Mag Wyvern, and they had a Puck and a Phoenix, which are heroes that excel at messing with the backline. They stop the Bane and the Wyvern and the Mag from pressing their spell how they want to. I see a hole in the sense that Kunkka and Skywrath, they don't do that. This Wyvern is going to have free fights. Same for the Mag, same for the Bane, and that worries me a lot. For LGD, I think the fights are going to be much harder. And we saw Secret today, and I think the hole in their draft was they had a Shadow Demon and the Lina with the Mag, with the Tiny and the Lycan. And these heroes don't really complement. They don't counter what counters the Tiny Lycan.
Yeah.
Something I want to mention actually is that they picked Meg and they banned Rubicon to protect it. I think this Kunkka pick actually came because X has a similar function. Like if Magnus gets a skewer and you X and redirect him, or you X your ally, you can stop that skewer play from coming in.
That's quite interesting. Yeah, you can actually X the Tiny. Yep.
We also see Enchantress coming in. I think this hero, they have this slow lineup, but something you can do is you can play really aggressive early with Enchantress. There's double range supports and a Magnus. This hero can actually snowball this game.
Yeah,
he definitely can.
I like these types of Dota drafts. I really like these drafts that are a bit lackluster too. Like I'm a big fan of Eng Skywrath, especially back in the day. But there's a big hole, which is your AoE, your team fight, your ability to fight into them. Oh, TB, the draft, okay. But still, they're banking everything on this Christmas tree wolf that's going to happen at some point, and it breaks the whole game, And this is also the Eng. It's just here to help that happen, to make that happen.
It really seems like LGD doubled down on we are going to secure the strongest 20-minute timing.
Yes.
And Team Spirit, I actually think that LGD is on a timer. If they cannot enforce this 20-minute timing and snowball the game, this is when the Wyvern, the TB, the Magnuses, they will scale greatly. So it's going to be down to can LGD execute their best strategy.
Yeah.
That's an exciting matchup.
Choose your hero.
Really have that. I feel like both teams got very powerful tools. It's kind of scary.
You think you're going to see the X mark? I can see it.
It's harder than the Rubik one. Like
I think it's much
harder, but I think it might happen. Even if you have to go high ground, X the Tiny, hit the tower.
But then you have to create the situation where the Tiny is getting something done. In the mid game and stuff, it's not the same. It's exciting. Both teams have great tools to take it home.
Last time Miposhka played Vyron, he owned the game.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy. I mean, that's what we wish for. It's like, can both teams get a solid draft? Can they get their comfort? They did. We're in for a treat.
So who do you guys think the most important hero on LGD is for them to hit their timing? Like, whose early game matters the most?
Obviously the Kunkka, and I would also say the supports will have a huge part to play. The Lycan, the Tiny, they still have roles to play in the early game. Everybody does. And if you can help negate pressure, if you can get that random support kill, if they're doing something illegal in your jungle, or kill the wave with your hero, then sure. But is owning, and if Skywrath's having a good game, they can make so much happen together.
And for the Team Spirit side, do you think there's anyone who can sort of stop that onslaught early?
They're going to look at the Ember.
Yeah.
Ember. Everybody's looking at Ember for this match. Yeah.
It has to be the Ember.
And now we're going to the final game. But before we go into game, we'll be coming to Sumi with Team Spirit's coach Silent.
Sin's expectation.
Prepare for battle.
Thank you very much, Sumi. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the deciding Game 5 here at the TI-10 Grand Finals. Team Spirit against PSG LGD. I'm Odie Pixel, joined, of course, once again by the fabulous Insania.
30 seconds.
What have we got in front of us here? What have we got in store for us this game, Aiden?
Man, what a crazy game. I think the last game was very, very much in LGD's favor straight from the draft. I think this is really even, and I completely agree with what Seb had to say, where I think both teams have different things going for themselves. I think if this game does scale up, if it goes very slowly, if the 20-minute timing from the Tiny isn't abused, then LGD's draft is going to just lack in power as the game scales up. I'm a little bit worried about how much the impact the Sky, Kunkka, Enchantress combo can have together around the map, and how well Team Spirit will be able to shut it down. I think runes, just like Silence said, luck, you know? And I don't think he was joking. Luck really does matter. If they get those power runes, it's going to be huge for them.
I mean, we saw as well from Spirit the sort of the very carefree attitude it worked out at the start of this series. I've been asked before the first game how the preparation was. Silence said, well, we didn't get to do much at all. We're just turning up to play and have a bit of fun. That fun certainly looked to be effective in Game 1 and Game 2, but Game 3 and Game 4, as we've just seen, PSG LGD, they have stepped it up. They've hit back hard. And now is the time to see if they can continue on the road to the reverse sweep, or Team Spirit can find that magic that was getting them through the first 2 games of the series.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is going to be a battle of the mid laners come after laning phase. I think the laning phase is probably going to be fairly even. Both heroes will farm fairly well, but that 6-minute rune, Owen, I think whoever gets that 6-minute rune actually has a massive edge in this game, because they're going to get to decide what happens, and the other team has to respond.
Absolutely. We've seen the importance of those timings, those power runes already many times in the series, many times in the tournament itself. Both teams fully be aware of this, and we'll see a lot of focus around that first spawn. Looking at the side lanes here, getting into the action. Who's having the rough time here in the early game?
I actually think most lanes are just going to be fairly farmy. The top side of the map, I think, is probably where you're going to see the most kind of action. There's a little bit of threat from the Tiny Edge to potentially make some sort of kill move, but I really think it's right now, you know, you want to get as much farm as you can out of the lanes before the supports have to rotate out. So I expect all 6 cores of this game to have a fairly decent start.
All right, well, we'll see if there's going to be any slip-ups in the laning stage.
Yeah, it's very even so far.
Mid lane. 11 for 1 against the 8 for 0. Of course, Toronto Tokyo taking quite the hit from the Tidebringers. And nothing to say. Bottom lane, Xinkyu. It's a little low here, but into the trees he goes. A TP away just in time before Yatoro is able to hunt him down.
Yep, so the Metamorphosis has been popped, but they have link control up top, and the advantage of having link control is the TB can't really run you down with his ranged attack the way he wants to, so not the ideal position for this meta to be used. If you're able to use it right outside of your own tier 1 tower, you can kind of zone out any other hero to come into the lane, but Faithbeyond's doing just fine during this meta.
Poshka trying his best to get Xinkyu away from Terrorblade, keep that area safe for Yatoro.
Yeah, nothing to say is doing very well mid. I'm a little bit surprised at this. He's almost a full creep wave ahead.
I'll see the courier taken out up top. Mirror continuing to trade as best they can here with White.
Yeah, doing a good job, making sure this top part can't... Oh,
they're going to try to move up. I mean, Collapse has hit the level 3. See if he's got enough lockdown and damage to take this kill, and yes, he does. At the same time in the mid lane, Toronto Tokyo very low there. Has to get out of the range of a potential Tidebringer here. Well, but there we have it. First blood up top. Good quick read from Spirit there as soon as they knew that they had the setup and the level 3 on Magnus.
Yeah, this mid lane is going excellently for nothing to say. Toronto Tokyo here has a hard choice of do I go for the bounty rune or do I stay in the lane and try to farm. Ooh, nice sleight of fist. Dodges up to farm. But yeah, overall, I think very stable lanes all around. TB Lycan about even. Mid lane is really the only outstanding lane so far to me.
Sure, and we know how scary Nothing to Say can get when he has a start like this. The setups that he'll be able to offer to the team, they're going to be huge, and a fair bit of damage to follow up each and every time that Nothing to Say gets a catch.
Yeah, and LGD really on top of refilling the bottle, right? You see Toronto Tokyo's not quite getting the same support mid, and that's because their heroes are forced to stay in their lanes right now. They can't really move their pieces on the map. And already winning the lane, getting that free bottle refill, he's going to be able to steal the small camp away from Ember. This is huge. Nothing to say is off to a great start in this Game 5 of the Grand Final.
And it's very hard for trying Tokyo to do too much about it. Of course, Kunkka early on. So HP, he's not going to be too scared of being burnt down by the Ember at the early levels.
Yep, and up top you see, like, this is generally how the early game is developing in this Grand Final, where the Tiny gets the 1v1 lane against the Mag because there's no real kill threat. Neither side can really pressure each other too much, and the two supports are kind of battling it out in the jungle. Here we go, Collapse is really part of the lane. This could be a lot of pressure.
See Mirror. Back at his side though, in case Arme and White find the connection.
I feel like the one small edge PSG LGD has had in this Grand Final is they're able to keep their safe lane really close to their tower constantly. They're not losing lane control on their safe lane. And it's allowing for them to have very good creep equilibrium, and that then in return makes Collapse forced to play much safer.
Oh, see Mirror not quite able to close the gap on the courier. Has left Collapse rather on his own. Nice little circle around the tree line will keep Collapse away from the two of them.
He's actually a player that very often manages to get these jukes where he kind of takes a route that people don't expect him to and gets out of these tricky situations. Wonder if he can get out now though. Wise on top of him. He has a slow.
This is a fair bit of damage. Does still have the skewer for a follow-up impetus, or the combo of Arme. You can close in on him.
Yep. Faithion getting initiated on bottom. Flies used, meta's used, but immediate TP out. Again, great presence of mind. You can tell why these players are in the Grand Finals. They're not giving anything away for free. It's not like neither team's attempting to make moves. It's just both teams are really on top of it. As mid.
See the setup here with the combo. Nice dodge. Flies off to the side here, Toronto Tokyo. In fact, over in the triangle, they're able to catch out. Oh, in fact, well, White did deny the boundary, but it will cost him his life. Coming over for that one there, as Team Spirit were prepared for that move.
Yeah, and Toronto Tokyo picks up the illusion rune there. So a little bit of miscoordination there. I think if you time that Ancient Seal a bit better, generally speaking, you know, you're going to use an X into Torrent. If you get the silence after the Torrent goes off, then the potential to get the boat in is there. And I think if they did the combo that way, they might have gotten the kill. But of course, the fear of Ember potentially dodging the Torrent with a slight forced them to use it too early.
And now they've sort of shown their hand mid. It's going to be hard for them to make that play again. Top lane. The Nightmare set up onto Arme. Collapse. It doesn't look like quite. The Shockwave will. Still trying to chase down Arme, but the Shockwave and Skewer already expended. There's no further threat here against the Tiny. Arme is going to be fine.
That's good pressure though. They force them off of the lane. They finally have managed to get lane control up top, and immediately when they get it, they have the opportunity to pressure the Tiny. So force them off the wave, force them to go into the jungle, and he doesn't have any sustain, right? So he's going to have to spend gold on getting some extra region.
They're going for him early on here with the three of them surrounding the Terrorblade. Yatoro is trapped in the trees. The moves from the supports of PSG LGD start to come in. See the counterplay attempted. Set up with the Nightmare, but the TP's already coming over for nothing to say. He'll be ready to fight if Team Spirit push any further, and they won't. They'll respect the potential of a backup coming in for Arme. They step away to not be caught out by the combo of the Kunkka.
Yeah, Battle of the Power Rune now resumes. It's about 30 seconds left, so both teams probably talking about which supports can we bring to the runes, who can be there in time to help out. One haste, one DD, it can change the flow of the game entirely.
Toronto Tokyo also just sort of cutting the wave, maybe getting the momentum of the mid lane in such a state that he'll have that ability to check the rune, but yeah, PSG LGD just fully on it.
DD. It's a big rune. This allows you now to have the damage to potentially burst a hero that you wouldn't be able to otherwise. And bottom lane, Faithbeyond's really trying to pressure this tower. And now that he's forced out the Arctic burn from Miposhka, Miposhka has to be very safe. He can't really sit there and be as annoying anymore and just continuously nuke the creeps. So expect this bottom tower to start falling. Meanwhile, top, is doing a great job of just defending.
He is. He's clearing out the wave, holding off the pressure. Something that Team Spirit can't quite do themselves here down bottom. Faithbeyond.
So here, it's an important smoke here that LGD are doing. They recognize that is going to sit at the tower. The Radiant team can't really defend their own bottom tower. So what are they going to do? They're going to mirror your play. They're going to go and attempt to take top lane tier 1 tower. So the smoke up here, it's a preemptive move in case Team Spirit tries to do something. But Spirit reads it perfectly.
Look out for
they are aware.
rocks.
And making sure not to get caught out by these early moves as PSG LGD do start to slowly ramp up an early gold advantage. Now hitting the 1k lead, they'll be able to catch themselves. A lonely Bane in the river, Mira.
Yeah, and Yatoro actually gives his position away. He used the reflection there, so now they know the Terrorblade's in the triangle. And you can look bottom, Faith Beyond has absolutely no fear. There's no hero that could gank him in any shape, way, or form. So he's off to a really, really good start. And when we talked about the draft coming into it, it's all about timings, right? So you want, ideally, for him to finish up his Helm of the Overlord and the Aghanim Scepter before 20 minutes. And if the game continues the way it is right now, it's highly likely to happen.
Double damage.
I'm in Spirit. I do want to try and put the pressure up top. Try and push Arme out of this top area of the map. It's in the mid lane. Going for the catch, but again, Toronto Tokyo fully prepared.
Yep.
Well out of the way.
Spirit are aware that the boat was used, and that means the top tower is very unlikely to be defended.
It's hard for them to get on top of Arme. Again, playing smart with the Avalanche, putting a stop to the combo, and now time's been bought for PSG LGD to come around. Yatoro immediately out with the TP. Doesn't want to be around here anymore. Mira will get found in the trees, though. Another death here on the Bane as PSG LGD continue to fight back against Spirit's attempts to get something done whilst the pushes are coming in elsewhere from PSG LGD there. Definitely getting a little bit more done in this first 10 minutes.
Yep, they absolutely are. And Purge Creep here on the Lycan. This allows you to take away the level 4 Flame Guard from the Ember, which is his major fighting tool right now in the early game. So that gets purged, immediately has to back off. This tower's gone.
Oh, look at this timing, yeah, 10 minutes, a second tier 1 tower. They're playing it fast, PSG LGD.
Yeah, LGD have the entire map to play with right now. They're controlling the entire... It's basically wherever they want to go, wherever they want to kill, is an option for them. And Team Spirit, they just have to try to play this map split game where they're dragging the PSG LGD heroes around and trying to get Yatoro to farm safely behind everybody else.
We're not going to see with the space that Collapse has got. He's going to have a good timing here on the Blink Dagger. I mean, how proactive do you expect to see them be here with this Blink pickup? Is it an immediate smoke and an attempt for a kill?
I think very likely they're going to try to make some counter move where they try to set up a play where they expect LGD to do something and they know where their heroes are going to be, and then they're set up ready to take that fight. I don't really expect them to make some aggressive smoke, most likely around some enemy tower or in order to defend one of their own.
See just this constant micro here.
Oh my god, Faith Beyond's being so annoying. Toronto Tokyo's trying to farm jungle with his Flame Guard, but he's just purging it off every single time.
And he's taking all the camps himself, Faith Beyond here with the wolves.
Yeah, and it's a tough position to be in if you're Team Spirit. You've really drafted this very late game heavy draft. You know it's going to take a long time for you to come online. I think if you see a team like OG play December Spirit, he probably would have gone for more of a slight chain build and try to make moves, try to set up tempo, and try to break up the pace of the game. But Toronto Tokyo opted to go for the more farm heavy route. So their draft is going to come online much later than PSG LGD's, and that's why they're allowed to dominate the early game the way they have been.
Well, nothing to say. He wants to set up in the mid. Arcane Rune in the bottle, full armlet. On top of the phase, very tanky Kunkka this early on, and a lot of damage to dish out.
Yep. And if we take a look at the vision game, which we've been talking about so much during this series, because it's just so important, you notice you have the scouting wolves from Faith Beyond, so there's extra 2 wards basically that are running around the map and providing vision for LGD. And then on top of that, the Team Spirit wards are so defensively placed, they're right outside of their own towers, protecting their triangle and protecting their tier 2 bottom tower. So it's not really giving them any information about what's going on in the game. They don't really see any heroes on these wards, whilst LGD feel very comfortable moving around the map. So vision superiority definitely in favor of LGD. They understand what's going on the game right now much better than Team Spirit does. Team Spirit's playing exclusively off of game sense.
You can see the confidence from PSG LGD because of that vision control. Smoke ups, they swing through the triangle here of Team Spirit. See if Spirit gets caught out on the top. They don't. Yatoro knows to back off.
Sniffs it out. Yatoro's so good at sniffing it out, I feel like.
Yeah, and he's made the call for Collapse to back off as well. They're both out of here.
Yeah, and this is purely a game sense read. This is him looking at the minimap, understanding what LGD is doing, and responding to it perfectly. There was no information of that play coming. Wonderfully done. There's a little bit of a play attempt set up in the bottom lane. But they just don't have the damage.
It's hard just with the 2 of them. Not a job for the supports alone.
But look at Yatoro. He's making his way over.
Maybe With the Terrorblade and the Metamorphosis, they could get the damage done if they get a grip onto Arme. He is tanky though, 2.4 and 2400 HP. He's got the Echo Saber, the Treads. See if they can do it. Nightmare setup, instantly TPs are coming in. See if they can do the damage quick enough. Yatoro focusing down with the Metamorphosis and the Illusions. They'll be able to take it. They kill off Arme. Mystic Flare's coming in, but Yatoro is able to sidestep it. PSG LGD, can they get a grab in return? Nothing to say. Trying to charge in. See Mirror head into the trees, trying to distract them from the rest of them, but here comes the Micro. From White, nice. He's able to lock down Maposhka here with a setup from the Centaur, drag back into the combo. He'll try his best to break the combo. Nothing to say here with the curse thrown out Maposhka, but he will still end up going down. Still though, Spirit, they'll take that. They're gone in, they're able to take Arme off the map. Yatoro is able to continue to farm here with the benefit of Collapse and the Empower.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But they did use both the Lycan form and the boat. And if we think about how LGD wants to play this game, it's important for them to have their cooldowns to get big kills or get big moments. While Team Spirit are happy every time nothing's happening in the game, they feel like they're getting ahead. They feel like they're progressing their game. And that's exactly what's going on now, right? They know there's no Lycan form, there's no boat, there's no team fight that's going to happen in the next 2 minutes. And they're very happy about that.
Yeah, we're seeing as well Toronto, Tokyo able to silently play his game here. He's been getting a lot of space. See already with this time with the first time pick up the Yules, he's already rather hard for PSG LGD to catch. He's got the Javelin on his way towards the Maelstrom, so his game, his farm's certainly going to be picking up pretty soon here. We'll see if PSG LGD are able to find any more action to keep this lead going. Arme in the neighborhood, ready to brawl in the jungle of Spirit if Spirit give it to them, but so far in this game 5, Spirit, they've returned to sort of that fantastic ability to read the moves and just avoid any sort of engagement that is not preferable for them to be involved in.
Yeah, and I think when you're playing some sort of like Enchanted Skywrath type draft, you want to be getting kills right now. You want to be punishing them. And if you take a look at the graphs, it's been about a 2 to 3k lead for most of the game. They're not really progressing on LGD's side. Yes, they're ahead, but they're not getting more ahead. And with their style of draft, you want to be getting more ahead as the game progresses. So it's looking like that 20-minute timing really is going to be everything for them.
Absolutely, especially now with the Shadow Blade done on Arme. I mean, he is ready to be an incredible killer at this stage, of course. The power of the Tiny, ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I think the 2 supports from Team Spirit are going to be really, really important for this upcoming team fight. Because if Bane is able to get a grip on the Tiny for long enough for TB to take good positioning and output damage, that might just be enough for them to win the game. If this Tiny goes down, PSG LGD's draft has nothing. It's all about Arme.
This time around, Mirror and Maposhka having collapsed by their side. Arme, he's just got himself Xinkyu behind him. He's with the Shadow Blade in preparation to clear out the wave. We'll see if Spirit hang around to try and hunt him down.
Yeah, Maposhka with the read. He does have a sentry. Oof. Looks like he might have ran up with that wave if Ahmed had just been slightly more patient. So if we take a look at items, you see the Winter Wireman's building the blink. He understands one good curse, you know? It's all about getting the one good spell off. So having the positioning, staying back, and then blinking at the right moment, that's going to be what he's going for. And they're giving him space, right? They're letting Maposhka sit down here, try to finish up the blink. They understand how important this is.
Absolutely. It's going to be huge, these curses, against a lineup where you're running these 3 melee cores that want to be charging in at you. Absolutely possibilities for a huge turnaround Winter's Curse to come out in these team fights.
Yeah, there definitely is. And if you look at Yatoro, he's building up for that Eye of Skadi. He wants to be tanky enough to tank the damage and then potentially get a Sunder off. That's going to be the game for him. If he's able to stand his ground with Skadi and the Tiny initiates on anything but him, he might just be able to be tanky enough to stay alive. The one person who's really not getting any farm in this game right now is Collapse. He's kind of understood that, you know what, I'm just going to get my shard, and I'm going to be happy with that. If I can have it by 20 minutes, that's everything I need.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen before from Collapse how much he can get done with limited resources. This man's Magnus, certainly something to be feared. Something that got tripped up in the game, of course, where Xinkyu had the Rubik to deal with it. Something that isn't, of course, here this time round. So a bit more free of a game for Collapse to make his moves occur.
Yeah, I feel like both teams are just waiting for this 20 minutes. I mean, if the pacing keeps going like this, I mean, LGD is going to hit their timing, and then you really got to look at that team fight. The nice thing about having so much time right now is I expect Team Spirit to be really ready for that fight when it comes. But look at this. LGD are going to try to make a move right before it.
Yep, here they go. Ancient Thunderhide leading the charge. Of course, we'll be spotted out here by Spirit. They'll know that there's going to be some action following it.
Great read from Spirit again. And look up top. Yatoro's just farming. 5 heroes committed down here for LGD. But Yatoro has the space that he wants.
Can they get a grab underneath the tier 2 tower? Jinkyu, nothing to say, they're going to try. Collapse, he's going to go with the RP just onto Jinkyu. Drag the Scarab underneath the tower. And we'll lose the return, but Yatoro's ready to turn up the grip there. They've caught, nothing to say underneath the tower. Yatoro's bit this off for now though. Slide of Fist comes out as they're looking to turn on, and nothing to say, they get him. Jump over the Remnant, he's looking for more. Toronto Tokyo in with the chains. Onto both Y and Arme. Arme goes down. Y and Fabian lost your life, but not for long. The Shockwave claims the life of the Enchantress. The Spirit will collapse. Oh, end up dying here to the Thunderhide of Faith Beyond, but of course that will also get claimed by Yatoro, and more money for them on the defense. An aggressive dive underneath the tier 2 tower. But as we said, the turnaround, it's absolutely there. Yatoro's able to get involved, and PSG LGD, they get punished.
Yeah, beautifully done by Team Spirit. But keep in mind, RP was expended, Metamorphosis was expended, 20-minute timing coming up, and Roshan's available too. So, huge rune, Arcane rune for Ember. This could be a game-winning rune for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it was once we see that Lycan form come up, expect them to make some kind of move. Actually, Tiny's missing 1,000 gold for his shard, so probably not going to be able to use his timing. So great fight for Spirit all around. Like, proving that they can kill the Tiny is huge for them.
I mean, Miposhka's maybe even already leading into more action. He's got the Winter's Curse at the ready. Both Toronto, Tokyo, and Collapse up here ready to play around him as well.
Yeah, Faith Beyond's about 1,000 gold away from the Ags.
Collapse, he's got that one toss, he's got that setup. Quick catch and a drag back on to Jinkyu. Gets him in reach of the rest of the team. They've got to watch out for these pickoffs. So something that Collapse was tearing them apart with earlier in the series.
Yep, and Collapse has recognized that, you know, the idea from LGD here is to silence him when he blinks into Horn Toss, so he can't get the skewer back. Very similar to how the Rubik functioned in the last game, but this time around they're just going to try to use this silence from Skywrath. So what does he do? He goes for the Sky. Great game understanding from Collapse.
Straight into the pit now as well. Even just with the one member down, with no Sky, no Jinkyu, it's still enough that PSG LGD feel that they cannot take this fight there. Letting this go to Spirit.
I feel like the pacing of the game right now, it really does favor Team Spirit. And they expect LGD to make some kind of move to try to break it up. I think they can't just let them farm out this 5-minute Aegis. Expect something to happen before that. Oh, it's such a calm before the storm kind of moment, I feel like. You see, Toronto Tokyo is just slowly farming up his items. I mean, this Ember Spirit's been a beast this event, and he's only 1,000 gold off of his own Aghanims. And then after that comes a shard, and then there's just Fire Remnants everywhere.
And he hasn't been caught yet this game. 1-0-3. Struggled to contain Toronto Tokyo in this early stage. He's also going to have that DD rune ready for the next fight. Palatine, he's going to hurt some of these heroes on the back line. They're not going to stand much of a chance at all. Jinkyu and Y, they better be pretty scared. Toronto Tokyo making the jump in on them.
Yeah, the positioning of the supports, it's really, I think, the story of this game, because both front lines are so tanky. I don't really think they're going to go down without the assistance of the supports from both sides. So Miposhka and Mira going up against Y and Jinkyu. They both have very, very tough positions to be in. You're going to have Ember remnanting into your backline, chasing the Skywrath, chasing the Enchantress. And at the same time, if Tiny gets on top of you, you're just dead. If he gets eyes on you, you're gone.
And here's that time. So they've got the Yags ready on Faith Beyond. Ready to make the move here, as you say. They don't want to be held back by the idea that Yatoro's got an Aegis. They want to fight regardless into it.
Yeah, they understand. If we wait too long, then Yatoro's going to be too strong. And here we go.
Here we go, Arme.
Oh, they see him.
Set up for success here. Looking towards Yatoro. And Poshka, Toronto, Tokyo, and Collapse setting up across the cliffside as Y will be the first to get poked upon. See how Team Spirit want to tackle this.
There's a DD on
looking for options. Collapse, he's in, instantly caught out by the Ancient Seal, so no skewer to follow. Y.
Chains, back up.
Is there anything they can do to save their Enchantress? I mean, does Y need saving at all? He's going to need to, as the Nightmare holds him back.
Yeah, Wolf Farm both used on Lycan as well as Tiny. So this means full reset. Now Team Spirit are in control of the pace. They get to decide what happens in this game.
Yeah, they could push. Aegis, Metamorphosis ready for use here. Tier 2s could be on the table for Team Spirit.
Looking for some kind of pickoff. They know LGD can't fight back if they get on top of their heroes right now.
They've got their eyes on mid. Utoro starting to rack up the gold again after the Skadi. 2,800. He's got that butterfly queued up. Knows that they're not going to be wanting to pick up any sort of true strike anytime soon here on the heroes of PSG LGD. The evasion would be huge.
I wonder if it's enough though. I like the idea of the Satanic more. Yeah, he's going for the Satanic. I really like this, because if he can survive the tiny combo, if he can get through it, you can purge off the silence from the Skywrath, you can get one hit off and then Sunder.
Yeah, the Dispel's beautiful.
I mean, if you're a Team Spirit fan, you're very happy with the pacing of this game. You saw LGD being unable to use their first timing of the game to really do anything, so if this keeps happening like 2-3 more times, then you're in the late game, and boy, are Team Spirit geared up to take that late game.
Ready with the setup top. In fact, Toronto, Tokyo, Invis Rune. Ready to go. See if he can get a surprise jump onto PSG LGD. Why? It's the closest right now. It's just the two supports playing up here, really. Putting themselves in the most dangerous position whilst the cores are able to farm on the safer side of the map.
I think Team Spirit are going to look for some sort of smoke for this bottom triangle ward. This is a ward that they usually fight around when they have it, so let's see what they do. It looks like they're moving over. Gem on Miposhka. They understand the importance of the vision this game. And there's no Tombstone this time, right? They don't have that kind of teamfight vision tool on Team Spirit as they did, or sorry, on LGD as they did in the previous 2 games. Now they're relying on the wolves. So having the gem secures you that there's no wolves on top of you. They don't see where you're moving. They don't know what's going on. So great item pickup by Miposhka, understanding the importance of it. It's a tense game.
I mean, you know the Team Spirit's got the solid jump, but PSG LGD, they've got the half hit. If they can get it with the tiny ball, we're going to see Collapse come in. He's in with the Horn Toss, he's going to look to separate. Nothing to say for the rest of the team. Feed Scrib as well, locking down the Kunkka. They get the quick grab, nothing to say, out for a minute.
10 seconds on the Aegis, and once again the wolf forms are used, but Ahmed's deciding to retreat. They don't see the opening they want. There's no buyback on the Kunkka.
Yeah, it's hard to fight with one of their most farmed cores right now in the game. They need them all up, really, to tackle Team Spirit head on. Bit of timing left on the Metamorphosis, so Team Spirit, they can push on. 26 minutes in, starting to take down this tier 2 tower.
Up top, ooh, quick fingers. Jumped away from the stun of the Tiny.
That's the fortification that's soon to be coming to an end. You see Spirit, they're happy to go for the dives behind the tower. Toronto Tokyo is in, and he's found himself Jinkyu.
Great recognition there. You know, Tiny initiates on you top. What does that mean? That means there's no heroes mid to fight. Immediately dives in. Wherever the Tiny is not, Team Spirit have massive freedom to make moves. The Tiny, it's really all about this Tiny. And 2 last hold forms have not gone PSG LGD's way. I feel like the game is slowly swinging into Team Spirit's favor, and they're kind of getting past that impossible timing of fighting this Tiny.
Oh, Collapse! He's got another grab! Jumps in, why? He's gone!
Yeah, if you're PSG LGD right now, you really gotta try to find a way to catch Team Spirit off guard. But they have the gem. They're setting up their vision smartly. They're playing around where they can see the dire heroes. If you look at the minimap, look at where they're positioned. Bottom side of the map, 2 hill wards here to cover any sort of entrance that LGD try to make. So they're always aware of what's going on. Very smart positioning on the map here. Team Spirit recognize that as long as we just delay the game, we don't feed, we don't give away anything for free, we're in a good position. Yatoro will carry us.
Never refuse gold given.
It's alright. In position now to maybe push down a threat in another tier 2 tower. We'll see the setup looking for Toronto Tokyo, but again, he senses something's up and they don't get that catch.
Toro now beating on the bottom tier 2 tower, doesn't get any sort of response. Means now they expect most of the LGD heroes to be on the top side of the map.
I mean, they've got Metamorphosis up in 10 seconds. Can they start to poke the high ground, or is, how aggressive do you want to get with these pushes?
That's a scary decision to make. I don't envy carry players that have to make this decision at this position in the game, but...
Are they going to make the call to commit? Metamorphosis is up for Yatoro. How hard does he want to push it into the base of PSG LGD? Doesn't look like they want to.
I think the idea here is to try to force the LGD heroes back into the base, so they then can play around their own wards, and then potentially move over to the top side, remove any sort of vision that LGD has, and then get map control that way. And you know, with these illusions pushing safely, your forcers...
He looks for the jumper collapse. He's not able to get the grab back on Nothing to Say. So Nothing to Say. He gives up a mirror, holding him for the longer of the field. Gets cancelled by the avalanche. The Winter's Curse coming to a quick end. As PSG LGD now charging on the base. Focus crashing down onto Mirror. Ancient Seal for now onto Yatoro. He's looking to back up and reset inside the base. Toronto Tokyo. He's diving in. Past the tier 3s. He's able to take out Nothing to Say. Looking at Remnant over to the side. He's got his eyes over towards Y. Or maybe even more actually. He's holding on to that. Not jumping back quite yet. As they've killed off 2. And with 2 dead, they may just have the room here to push up to the high ground. Yatoro, he's stepping up. Still a bit longer with the Metamorphosis left. They're taking this tier 3 tower. There's going to have to be buybacks. Jinkyu back into the game. But a tier 3 taken here. Some damage being done to the Rex as well. No Kunkka for 40 seconds.
Yeah, and no wolf fight.
Collapse. He finds the grab. Jumps in. Drags back on the Skyraf mage. Jinkyu, he's gone for 70. Another man down on PSG LGD Spirit. They'll keep the push going. And you've got to be careful, you know, Collapse is looking for another one. There it is. He's in. Drag back on Y. He just can't stop finding them, Collapse. Every single time. Pick off after pick off. You can't stand anywhere near Spirit.
No, you absolutely can't. And Yatoro's recognizing, you know, I don't have meta. I don't have my strongest spell, but neither do they. And he's just pushing it here. I think they're going to keep going for this buildings. They do not seem afraid. There's so much confidence right now in how they're playing. They get the buyback. He's the next mark, but he's 3,000 HP.
He's so tanky. Sunder, Satanic at the ready if he ever feels threatened.
But look at this. LGD are coming in from behind. They recognize that they can't go on the front line. They need to catch the backline heroes.
They're going to try and go for the easy kill first, or at least the easier, maybe. But no, it's not. TP out there are able to stop it. Arme's in with the combo. They catch the Bane. They need more, though. Nothing to say in the team. Doesn't look like they're going to get it. Maposhka's off into the trees. They won't be able to find him to stop that escape. Team Spirit, they take a Rex, they take a tier 3 in the mid lane. They only end up losing a Bane, pushing them up now to an 8k lead against PSG LGD.
Yep, and once again, both the wolf forms are expended. So you know what that means? Roshan's available. Metamorphosis is ready in 10 seconds. Team Spirit are going to eye it up.
That's going to get even harder to deal with Yatoro now. He's got the full Silver Edge done, so the ability to sort of duck in and out of the fights. He is going to be a right nightmare to deal with. We see Arme's farm not too far behind, but you definitely feel that at the moment, with the timings that they've hit, Spirit as a unit are so much harder to deal with than it is for them to take down PSG LGD.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's reflected in the way that Arme is playing, but he's about to get caught here at the top lane.
There's Collapse, in with the horn toss, dropping the RP. The BKB was out in time, he's into the invis, but the physical, is it going to be enough here from this Terrorblade? And Yatoro, he's focusing down Arme. Arme's trying to run, but he can't get away from him. Arme out for 80. They're ready to chase for more. Collapse, steering in to close the distance onto Jinkyu. They caught the Skyraf, set up there as well with the curse. They're ready to close up onto Fabian as well. They're going for a third kill here. Skewer from Collapse, back into the claws of Spirit.
Team Spirit has lasted through the hardest part of the game. Now, everything is theirs. They just need to play this calmly, don't overextend, recognize that as long as we play around our own timings, this game is firmly in our grip.
I mean, there's 3 dead. There's no buyback. It's only Nothing to Say. And Y left here for the defense. As Team Spirit, they're onto the tier 4s. They've got a fortification, but there's still those long, long seconds before they get their 2 claws back in the game. PSG LGD.
They're going to have to try to do something. I don't think they have enough time to wait for Tiny to respawn.
See how carefully Team Spirit play it.
Goes back.
There's 20 seconds, no Arme. They can push. They can push in Spirit. They don't need a back. 20 seconds without Arme. They're going to look for more grabs before they close it up. Jump off for Collapse. Jinkyu goes down. Nothing to Say as well. A checkpoint. Nothing to Say has a buyback. 8 seconds until Arme with the Ancient. They're looking to close it up. They can taste the championship. They can take the money. The backdoor protection is in. The backdoor protection is in. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. PSG LGD, they'll start now to force Spirit back out the base. Miposhka will get himself out with a blink. They just need to reset Spirit.
They're trying to get out. Faith Beyond's on top of Mira, though.
They've got the curse. Holding back the Lycan. Why? Being a bit of a nuisance off to the side. Impetus onto Mira, but why? Chased down by collapsing. They've got him. Toronto Tokyo, low on mana. James holds it back, but now with the BKB armor.
He has back though.
Straight back in with the random. Gets instantly caught out with the torrent. With the silence as well. Jump forward. Collapse. BKB. Steal back. Into the clutch of the Yatora. Yatora. They're going to be able to lock him down with the RP. Where's the detection? Where's the detection? No detection. They need to see him. They don't get to see him. Oh my. He's going to live. He's going to turn towards Vera. He's still very low. And then a slight change. They get him. They finish him off. Oh, nothing to say.
What a TP.
What a TP. He's out. He's alive.
So, no buyback on Toronto Tokyo, no buyback on Faith Beyond, no buyback on Ame.
Oh my goodness.
There is a Roshan.
There is.
Oh, I thought that was going to be it.
I mean, it was so close. But the backdoor protection kicks in. PSG LGD are able to pull together a defense. They lose their tier 4s. But the Ancient still stands.
Yep, Satanic used Sunder as well. You can feel the nerves. I can feel it. It's just so much on the line. Just one Sentry Ward could have won them the game there, but Support's unfortunately not able to get into range.
Let's see what they can do around this pit. They're still down 16k PSG LGD, but they've got all their old stuff. Can they make any sort of steal? They've already managed to set up here onto the Kunkka. They're going to go straight to it. Yatora coming in with the BKB. The cards holds back Arme on the side. Nothing to say. He's going to go down. Out for 110. Yatora's ready to step over to his next target. He's looking over towards Arme. Collapse. Popping the BKB. Miposhka keeping himself alive with a cold embrace. Spirit. They'll turn over towards Arme, but Arme's looking for the BKB to go. He's killed off another support. He's looking at Toronto Tokyo. Toronto Tokyo by some of the others. He's got another remnant. Slight this into the remnant of the high ground. He's away. Both teams again. They are sneaking around under the cover of these silver edges, watching one another.
Metamorphosis is out, but so is the two wolf forms. It's both teams taking it safe right now. But look at why. He's stuck on the cliff.
Why?
Dude, look at how carefully they're playing it. They're scared to walk up there and try to kill him.
Why slash? Oh, they got him.
There we go.
They'll take him off the cliff.
But look at Rose! Oh, Armin's killing Rose!
Oh, no, he can't do it, surely. Anton collapse. He's got his eyes on him. Still nothing to say or why for 50 seconds.
Armin's alone.
He's gone in alone. That was a risky move. He's got the back of a Shin Q. But Spirit, they're going to chase on. Slight chase. Oh, no, he's gone. 2 minutes, no Tiny. Ancient exposed. Spirit, they'll make the walk over towards the Ancient.
They're not waiting for the creeps.
They're ready to close it this time. Only 2 left. Can they stop a PSG LGD? I don't think they can. GQ's got it over.
It's GG.
It's over. GG. They have done it. Team Spirit. They come into the grand finals. 2 games straight up. They take them away from PSG LGD. Game 3 and Game 4. PSG. PSG LGD, they hit back, but the game 5, even though they get knocked out in 3 and 4, Spirit, they come back with the same skill and ability that's taken them this whole road to the grand finals, and what a road it and taking home $18 million in Zania.
It's unbelievable. I know before this tournament I was streaming and people would ask me like, where do you think Team Spirit are going to place? And I honestly said, on a good day, if everything goes your way, maybe top 6. I never saw this coming. Not in a million years. What an unbelievable performance.
What a story, what a road, what a dream here that they've achieved. The Spirit, they'll claim the Aegis.
champions, Team Spirit!
Especially for these fucking guys. Yeah, they came out from him.
Miposhka.
Hello?
Hello, Miposhka. Congratulations on winning the International 10. I must ask, you are the captain of a team who has with 4 players who have never played at a TI. How did your team come together and become so strong?
It's all because of our manager Corban. He made this team. He invited me and already a good start.
They're about to take some pictures.
But I don't know. It's just because we did a lot of work, hard work. Also, we had a bootcamp before that international, and that was the hardest bootcamp I ever had. So. Actually, I don't know. It just happens.
It just happens. He said the manager. He said the boot camp. He said the team. It just happens. Now, you and your teammates are you're so young, and this is only the beginning. What is next for you?
I have no idea, actually. I don't even know what to say. So I have no idea. Maybe we're gonna think about this later, but right now I don't really know what we're gonna do. Maybe when someone will broke. I forgot what.
All right, you are going to come back next year and defend your title, right?
I wanted to say maybe someone is gonna leave from Dota. I'm not really thinking. No, I'm not really sure that it's not gonna happen. Because. Such a big price, and do you really need to play Dota now after this? So I have no idea who gonna what. I hope you understand me.
Oh, absolutely. There is so much going on right now. You just won a huge tournament, the biggest tournament. So to not know is totally fine. Look at your teammates. They are celebrating right now. Do you have anything that you want to say to your fans?
As I already said, sometimes thanks for your support, every fan who supported us till the tournament. So, a lot of people wrote me a lot of messages that good luck guys, good luck, we believe in you. And thank you for everything, thank you all.
All right, go ahead and celebrate with your team. Once again, everyone, I present to you Team Spirit, your champions of the International 10. And now, back to you.
What a fantastic performance from Team Spirit. They pull through here in this best of 5. They take game 5. That was their 8th game of Dota 2 they played today, by the way, and they crushed it. Also, if you were to look at Team Spirit's team earnings before today, you would have seen that they had, out of their 6 years that they've been around, $500,000 to their name. it upped a little bit. It's already updated. 18 million added to the list, Brian. I mean, this team has been fantastic. This team has been fantastic. They delivered some amazing Dota.
This team was a qualifier team. They were losing 2-1 in a best of 5 to make it to TI in the first place. I had to say that really loud because I don't know how else to portray, like, this is an insane run. They have had so many elimination games throughout the losers bracket, throughout qualifiers, making it 6th at the previous major, I think. I don't even know at this point. It's amazing.
It is amazing. Can you make sense of it all now, Jenkins? Has it clicked?
No, I'm going to try not to scream about it this time. The crowd is already going wild. But also, what a great group of guys to win this. This is so good for the Dota scene. There are so many more Tier 2 players out there now that are now inspired to play the game and potentially win a TI. But these guys, you know, we heard the story. They clean up their rooms. They're the nicest guys ever. They're so nice to all the staff or whatever.
Yep.
They anime ran at the major. Like, it's so good for the game that these guys won. You legitimately couldn't write a better storyline than this.
That's just the charm of this team. From the very beginning, they're a group of guys we wanted to root for. And honestly, this is a Cinderella story of which we have never seen before at TI. They started 0-4 in the groups, and then they just made it. They barely made it to upper bracket. They lose their first game to IG, 2-1, and then they just stomp through the lower bracket, and here they are. They actually did it, and there's something so emotional about watching a group of young boys have their entire lives changed. Like, it's a feeling that you can't really put into words. But
I mean, they didn't put it into words.
Yeah, I don't
either, right?
blame them.
They're like on the floors, like, what just happened? We saw it in the interviews. Like, we're just playing some Dota. They didn't really let it settle in, right? When we heard from DM yesterday, he's like, that hasn't settled in. The money hasn't settled in. It's just some Dota being played.
Yeah, I mean, congratulations. It's just to be a part of that and to have seen that firsthand. It's something else.
I love the raw passion of just like hugging the Aegis, just feeling that moment, because I feel like in order to do what they did, you have to have just raw passion. You can't just practice your way to winning a TI like that. You can't do that. You cannot be robotic. You have to have that human element, the instinct that comes from the passion. There's no other way.
I just can't even imagine the highs and lows they experienced along the journey, but let alone that best of 5.
Mm-hmm.
You go up 2-0, like we were talking about the comeback from LGD, but they lost 2 games in a row in a convincing, stomping, strategical fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that one play at 19 minutes, it all just changed. You could see it in their play. You could be watching this Dota game and you just be like, this is an entirely new team. They are ready to take this.
Yeah.
Take this Aegis.
It gave them the confidence that they needed. It injected it into them, and they were playing for the win. They just believed they could do it. And I don't know, it's so hard to explain what we just saw, but that was incredible. That really was. Dota is just
It's a really good game, and I also am very happy that the Dota that we saw throughout the entire tournament, this was a great patch, Jenkins. As far as as a Dota goes, obviously if you strip away the teams, you got the game, and it was great.
Yeah, it's the thing is, it's like fairly balanced. You know, we've seen a lot of heroes being picked. I mean, look at the team that won. Yatoro played about 70 different heroes, even though there weren't 70 games. But then you also have this development throughout the best of 5 grand finals where the Lycan Tiny was beaten. The unbeatable strat for the unbeatable team was beaten by the open qualifier team. It's just insane. It's insane. This is like the most balanced patch ever.
The circle of life, right? Like, you start the whole tournament, people realize this is the most broken strat. It gets banned for like almost every game throughout the course of the tournament. Then you end the tournament with the team losing with it.
I don't even think Team Spirit, they didn't expect to make it this far. They tweeted, "We never thought we would be playing at TI Grand Finals." They just came into this tournament to play the best that they could, and they blew everyone away.
I mean,
honestly.
4 non-TI players, like they're just playing at TI is good for 4 of them, and then they just go and win it, just like that.
Yeah, I mean, Miposhka, I mean, he had played at TI, but he played, he was top 8, and he had to play that TI with a stand-in because their main carry couldn't make it over. And top 8's still really good, especially when you're playing with a stand-in, of course. But this is a captain that it's not, he didn't come out of nowhere. He's been grinding for a long time, but he gets the right players in his squad, and TI finals, here they go, Brian. It's just like that.
We watched them grow throughout the DPC seasons. We mentioned it this entire time, but their identity never changed. It was more like just refining and finding out. Like, you can see them discovering themselves within the Dota game, and it's just such a unique treat to have followed their journey for this long, because it's like seeing Sumail at TI5, where he's getting mentored by his entire team, but instead of seeing like one youngin come up from that it's 4 of them.
And an oldie too, so it's good for everybody. The old Dota players out there, there's hope for you too.
As a coach.
Yeah.
Well,
Can we
Miposhka,
talk?
well, old.
But Miposhka is 23 years old.
Okay,
You cannot call him old.
In Dota terms, like, it depends on
He
that.
has been playing forever. He's
That's
been
fair.
around for a while.
That's fair. That is fair. I mean, we have Yatoro. Of course, you mentioned Sumail. He's the youngest player to have ever won TI. Yatoro comes close. He was the youngest player at this international at 18 years, and he will, with this team, take home the championship, and also has played 15 different heroes in 17 games, which I don't think, as a TI champion, I don't think any TI champion has ever done that throughout a TI. Can anybody prove me wrong?
He also owns
3 rampages.
He also owns half of the rampages.
Yes.
TI's ever.
TI main
at this
stage
point.
ever.
Yeah, TI
Yes.
main stage. Yeah.
He shaved his head as an offering to
Dota-
the
to the Dota
Dota
gods.
gods.
Yes.
And they,
I'm a believer.
They delivered their blessings, man. Look at that.
I
No,
think as far as
Spirit
superstition goes,
themselves. Spirit themselves earned that. That was amazing.
Lord Gaben giveth if you giveth him your hair.
Okay.
well, I am looking forward to finding out if next year we're going to see a lot of bald heads in those
There's
boots.
going to be a lot of baldies.
I mean, we were obviously earlier joking with the belly rubs versus the head kisses, but I mean, there's some form of superstition. Obviously, every player has a little bit. It comes with competition. You can't ignore that, and I'm very excited that Team Spirit was able to make theirs come true and make theirs work. And of course, we want to hear more from our world champions. We want to hear more from Team Spirit, and that's exactly what we're going to get, because later tonight we have, what's in a name, Late Night. Hello, Slacks, how you doing?
Hey,
Woo!
Sheever. Hey, everybody on that panel. My goodness gracious, that is right. Late game is happening apparently right now. I thought we were teasing to it, but hell yeah, let's get this shit on. We'll do it live. Gentlemen, Team Spirit, actually, we're not going live. We're actually going to pass it back. That's a little teaser. You can't tell me I didn't just tease you and make you think that you were watching late game. We'll see you soon. Wrap it up. We got a good crew.
Thank you very much, Jake. Yes, so we were just checking in with Jake, see how he's doing. He's obviously, of course, still waiting for those champions to join him as well, but that should be a great show. Late game, of course, will start when we wrap up, and that's exactly what we're going to do now. So I'm going to ask for the final words from all of you, because it's been over 2 years in the making, this International 10, but it has come to a close. We got our world champion in Team Spirit. Brian, what's your thoughts?
I also just want to give a shout out to LGD. I feel like
fair.
there was a ton of pressure on them, and Ame especially, losing a second Game 5 in the TI Grand Finals. They played amazing throughout the entire tournament. They were the most convincing team I had seen in a really long time, and it means even more that Team Spirit was able to best them at their best in Game 5.
I just gotta feel bad for them. They worked incredibly hard this entire season, more so than any other team, I would say, just because the sheer amount of pubs that they've played in the last month outnumber any other team. But that's just the nature of this game. It's heartbreaking and it's painful, and it's gut-wrenching even, but it brings out all our best and all our worst emotions. And I know my closing thoughts are, even though the world changed a little bit, Dota didn't, and we all shared this experience together all over the world, and it was wonderful, really.
Yeah, Dota is just the best game. It really is. I know it's so generic, but I legitimately have been looking for other games to give me the high.
Never does.
I came from other games that are kind of cultures, communities, more than they are games, where it kind of becomes your entire life. And I'm okay with that. And I think everybody's okay with that. And there just isn't anything. There's just nothing. And I have theories. I think it's because Dota is so community driven. We've all contributed to the game. We've all built it. And I think that leads to the balance. But man, every year with TIs like that, it just goes to show how good the game is. It's just a representation of how good the game is and how balanced it is, that every goddamn year we get some TI that's insanely hype and insanely balanced.
Yeah, and do we ever have the favorites going into TI actually winning TI? No, very rarely. PSG LTD has been playing with this bullseye on their backs, and it shows. That's, of course, making it a little easier for Team Spirit because they knew who they were facing. They had actually faced PSG LTD quite a few times as well, and unfortunately for PSG LTD, that is the end of the road, facing second place. It's still really good. You're still second place. Yeah, still really good. But the players and all their fans will probably not accept that as being really good until a little bit later down the road. It takes a little time to sink in, I would imagine. A lot to process for sure. A lot to process for Team Spirit and their fans as well, because TI1 was the only TI ever taken home by the Eastern European region, by Navi, of course. And since then, they've come close at TI2 and TI3, but then since then, nothing. TI6, or rather top 6 at some other TIs with the Virtus Pro squad. But Team Spirit here, they take it home, and we're going to find out if they have fully accepted yet that they have this victory in the bag. Like, nobody can take that away from them anymore. That Aegis is theirs. So we are going to say goodbye here from the desk as we prepare for late game. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been an absolute blast. Late game will be there with your champions, Team Spirit. Congratulations once again.